Hello and welcome to the Dynata training series. This video will cover variable-related tips and tricks to improve your efficiency in MarketSight. The first tip involves creating categories prior to analysis. Categories organize your variables, which makes it easier for you to navigate large datasets. They can also be reused in any datasets with identical variables. To categorize any number of variables, simply select them by checking this box and then clicking on the Categorize option. If this is your first time making categories, you can enter whatever name you would find most useful. If you have already made categories, you can select an existing category to move the variable into. All categories you have created are shown by default. You can also hide or display individual categories by clicking on Manage Categories. Here, you can adjust the order of categories being shown and hide categories. The next step is a shortcut that makes the user-defined variable creation process quicker. First, select a variable or variables. If you right-click on the blank space near the variable name, you will see options to edit, delete, create UDV, categorize, and move. Choose Create UDVs from this shortcut, select the type you want to create, and the UDV editor window will have the correct variable information populated. No more searching for variables. In addition, you can see summary statistics on the variables page by simply right-clicking directly on the variable name. For example, clicking on age, we can see the count, column percent for each value as well as the sample size, mean, and median. You can leave this window open and right-click on each variable and see the summary statistics for each one. The next trick is very handy for situations where you may have multiple variables with the same value scale. For example, if you have one rating scale in your dataset, chances are very good that you have several more. If you want to create new nets for these rating scales, one way to do it is with a regrouping user-defined variable. However, you do not need to do so one by one. The reuse functionality for regrouping UTV can help you out. To start, you will need to create one regrouping UTV. For more information on creating regrouping user-defined variables, please see the related video. When you have your first variable, click on the checkbox to the left of the variable name. Next, click Reuse in the toolbar. A dialog will appear and MarketSight will display all numeric variables in your dataset that share the same numeric value scales as your original predecessor variable. Select any that you would like to reuse the nets on. If needed, you can place the variables into a new category here. But they will go into the same category as the parent by default. You can also add a suffix to more easily identify these variables. Conditional variables do not have a reuse function, but there are still two ways to speed up the process of making many conditional UDVs. Your first option is to copy the variable. MarketSight will create an exact duplicate that you can modify, which is often easier than recreating a variable from scratch in order to make a slight variation. Advanced user can also use the dataset labeling workbook to make conditional user-defined variables in bulk. Please see our video on the workbook to learn more. Finally, you can save time on your project by using import, which lets you reuse work you have already done by copying it from one dataset to another. Previously, creating user-defined variables, variable categories, crosstab, charts, and data views are all duplicated in a new dataset. To begin, you will need two datasets uploaded into the application. Your first dataset will be the original or source dataset where all your work currently exists. Your second dataset will be your target dataset. You will want to ensure that the variables in these two datasets are as similar as possible to allow the process to proceed smoothly. In an ideal world, the variable structure should be identical in both datasets. To begin the import process, select your target dataset as your active dataset. Next, click on Import button, which can be found on the Datasets, Variables, or Crosstab page. In the dialog that appears, locate your original datasets in the box on the left. On the right, choose which items you would like to copy into your current dataset. You can select all, or you can choose from user-defined variables, crosstabs and their charts, data views, and variable categories. Click OK to proceed with the import. When the process is finished, you will get a log file that lets you know what successfully imported and what did not. Your work will now exist in the new dataset, displaying updated data. For more information on importing, please see the related video. If you're looking for more ways to make your workflow more efficient, try the Crosstab Tips and Tricks video next. We hope you find this video helpful and thank you for watching.